Here we are again on the Stunthangar Live Hangout, featured by Stunthangar Control Line Forums. I'm Rusty, just a member of the Stunthangar Forums. Sparky's the man behind the scenes that does everything to make it possible. And we will hang out here tonight and talk about aeromodeling or whatever it is you like to do in your workshop with tools or at the drag strip or the lake or whatever. And it's Friday again, April 13th, 2018, Friday the 13th. I got a sausage biscuit this morning with no meat in it and then had a fender bender. So far, it's been pretty smooth sailing and I'm still in an okay mood. So if that's as bad as Friday the 13th gets, I can live with that. I hope nothing worse than that happened to you. I'm not superstitious or anything, but April Fool's Day to me is worse than Friday the 13th, both in the same month this time. But anyway, we'll hang out here until about midnight. So if you will click the links in the at the bench thread on Stunthangar, come in and join us. Hey, Sparky.
I gotta turn this down. You're way too loud.
Oh, okay. I gotta go let a cat in. Excuse me. He waited until I went on the air to come to the window. I'll be right back.
Well, welcome everybody. This is our Friday night chat. And tomorrow, what I'm going to be doing, and I'll be posting this video up, is I'm going to make a video on my 100-mile-an-hour Ringmaster. I received the ribs from Brodak and went to Outer Zone. And I'm going to be taking those plans from Outer Zone and turning this into an airplane tomorrow. And it should only take one day, I think. And I'm going to do this a little different than normal. This center rib will be drawn on 1/8 inch, and I'll do that twice. And I'm going to put it one on each side of the fuselage. So it's going to be built like a beam wing, where this wing will be attached to the fuselage with no hole in it. And then, of course, the bell crank mount will be doweled into the fuselage. So that'll be different. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing tomorrow.
What kind of power is going to be on that?
G2135 Super Tiger.
Wow. Okay. Sounds like a handful. Oh, hey, Bob Bishop. How you doing tonight on YouTube? Our YouTube audience is a little slimmer than it used to be, but we still get a group of regulars on there. I appreciate you coming in, Bob. Now I'll type you an official hello. There you go. Hi, Bob. Except it says hooey, Bob. Sorry about that. Hooey, Bob.
I got my official money for this year.
Oh, my goodness. Let me click that up big so everybody can see it. Yeah. Mercy. 2016. That's an odd note. Yep.
And of course, I got the gold coin.
There you go. All right, Trump money. May we all have plenty of Trump money.
Remember what I told you about that video getting demonetized because I talked about a certain subject?
Yeah.
It did.
Oh, it did, really?
Oh, yeah.
You know that now that we're running unlisted, the super chat doesn't work anymore.
Really?
Yep. Gerald found out the other night. He clicked on it and it gave him a message. I don't remember the exact message, but it said since that we were unlisted that he couldn't donate.
Well, go ahead and list it. Let's see what's happening here. Edit. Basic info. And we're gonna make it public.
Talking to Bob Bishop on the text chat. He's asking about that plane you were showing us a minute ago. And you're muted, Sparky. Did you mute yourself? Let me see if I can unmute you. No, I can't do anything about it. What's up with that? Let me go up in this control panel. Oh, Sparky disappeared. Oh no, they've taken Sparky hostage. Let me get my control panel up here.
There we go.
Okay.
Logged out and logged back in.
Thought,
I think
maybe as soon as you listed it public, you got taken hostage or something.
Is it public now?
I thought that's what you were fixing to do, is go make it public.
I did, but
Okay.
then it muted me.
Anyway, Bob Bishop came in late. He was asking about that little plane you were building. I told him a tiny plane for a big engine. And
Yeah.
Kevin Muffleroy just signed in. Hi, Kevin. Good evening. Oh, he wants to know about it too. What's Sparky building again? A tiny plane for a big engine.
This is a Ringmaster, S1 Ringmaster that will put a Super Tiger on. And I'll do that all. I should be able to do that all tomorrow. It'll have a carbon fiber spar. It'll be built all in one piece, kind of like a beam wing, instead of like a normal Ringmaster. I also got this airplane. It's not quite finished.
Oh yeah, baby. Voodoo.
Yeah, black Voodoo.
Nice.
I think I'm going to do my Ringmaster in black. I'll get some black monocoat tomorrow, and I'm going to use the truck paint to do the fuselage.
I need to get checkered monocoat. That's good looking stuff. And it's really good for the bottoms of the wings. It makes the stutters look good in the middle of a wing over when you've got something that really is eye-catching on the bottom of the wing. My wife always complains that I never decorate the underside of my planes, and so I've started trying to get better about that.
I bought that at the Toledo show for 50 cents for a roll of monocoat.
Wow, that's good.
National Balsa is back on sponsoring us, so everybody support National Balsa.
Okay. So what's the story? Have you been reading the emails about our hobby supply? I got one from Omni Models. I hadn't had a chance to read the whole thing, but it looks like somehow all of the bankrupt hobby supplier is still being supported somehow. I'm not sure what's going on though.
Hobby King bought them.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully they've got the wherewithal to bail it out and make it profitable.
That's on all of us. See, that's the problem with all of us. We say, well, this is too expensive or whatever. Well, yeah, it's you know, this is expensive and that is expensive, but it's all relative. You know, something that cost 10 cents in the 60s is now $1, or $10 is now $100. Just add a zero. And so instead of being cheap and getting these people to go out of business, just pay what the price is. And you certainly don't go into the grocery store and say, well, I'll give you a quarter for this tomato instead of $1.
Yeah.
Don't try to, gyp these guys out of their profit or whatever. I did get a deal. I bought this sheet of 64th plywood from National Balsa. This sheet of plywood, 64th.
About $30, wasn't it?
Well, they have it listed for $28.72. Schaefer's Hobby sells it for $50, but I bought it for $20. I bought it at the show price. So I bought some light ply and some 1/8" aircraft ply. I got more wooden airplanes here than I do at home.
Is that thin balsa like that? That's 3-ply, I guess, isn't it? 3-ply laminated.
You mean that plywood there?
Like that 64th, yeah. Is that 3 laminated plies together?
I couldn't tell you. I have no clue.
Hard to believe they could shave it much thinner than that. But it comes in handy. It's good and strong.
Well, it's good for cowl edges and things like that. If you want to make a light bulkhead, you can laminate that onto a piece of 1/8" wood and then hollow the whole thing out just like Al Rabe used to do, and have a bulkhead that weighs nothing, but it's super strong. I got an email from a guy who showed me a picture of a guy, and I think it's Al Rabe. And he said, why don't you do a video on this bloke? Well, I am going to end up doing a video on Al. I just don't know when. I've been kind of holding off on the YouTube because of the YouTube war that's going on inside YouTube with this Wozniak gal that took over. They don't want to pay anything, the monetization. If people think we get rich on YouTube, $30 is what, that's $1 a day is all we make on YouTube. It's, nothing. So until I get that straightened out, I can't see putting a whole lot of effort into YouTube.
Yeah, and you tried out another place, VidMe, and they dried up and disappeared overnight. And that might have been the result of the wars you're talking about.
Well, I do have another channel, Stunthangar on Vimeo, Vimeo. There's some video there, but I haven't really, it's just so hard. People got to understand how hard this video making is. You do now because you've done the video and, the Hangouts for a year.
Yeah, I've had a taste of it.
It's a bitch. And when the Hangouts aren't so bad because there's no editing. But when I got to take a camera and shoot the footage and then edit the footage and then upload the footage, it's a bitch. It takes longer to edit it and upload it than it does to shoot.
Yep.
So for every 7 minutes you see in a video, it's taking me an hour. I don't know.
Yeah, even when I do my own flight reports, I cut them up and smooth them out, make them look more professional than just the raw footage off of the camera. And so, yeah, I know. And I just use Microsoft Movie Maker, and it's a pretty simple little program. Comes with Windows Live Essentials. If anybody wants to get it, you don't have to get the whole Live Essentials package, but a couple of the little programs that come with it are good.
What was that?
That was my email telling me that there was breaking news: U.S. launches missile in Syria.
A whole bunch of them.
Really?
Yeah, they're at war. Hey, Jamie.
Here comes Jamie. Hey, Jamie. How you doing tonight, bud? Can't hear me? I can hear you, even though you're not talking. I can hear you knocking around.
Whose phone?
I think that's coming from Jamie's end.
I know. I couldn't hear y'all, so I went to my settings and selected my speaker, or whatever, and did a test, and it was a phone.
Okay, so we all hooked up and good now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're just getting started here. We got Bob Bishop and Kevin McElroy over on the tube watching us. Unfortunately, Bob's at work. You work a lot, Bob. I went flying twice this week, or let's say I went to the field twice this week. Y'all all know I was planning to go out on Tuesday, and we got out there, and the field was too weedy. It had woody stalks growing up everywhere, and Wayne brought his intermediate Death Star, which is a foam wing trainer of his design for me to fly, so I could get my legs back under me and not risk my stutters. And so we didn't fly it that day. He flew his sailplane, 12 and a half meter sailplane. And so we went back yesterday. It was beautiful. It was 80 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Lots of thermals for Wayne to play with his sailplane, but he didn't bring the Intermediate Death Star, the IDS for short. And so I had the P40. We'd been trimming it, flight trimming it, back in October, the week before the Huntersville contest. So I had done one last adjustment, adjusted the lead outs, trying to keep it tighter in the overheads because we were aborting on overhead eights and vertical eights. Well, Wayne flew it first, and it's tight as a drum. It flies beautifully. Insides and outsides are equal, and it pulls nice and hard. So I short tanked it and started putting up a flight on it, and it really does pull harder than any model I've ever built. It doesn't fly harder than the Magnum, of course, but gosh, that was 4 years ago now, and it was too much pull for me. The thing snapped on the. I had flown a bunch of laps inverted and upright, and did lazy eights and loops and inside and outside, and was preparing to do a Pampa 8 and get the shapes right and start doing a few things like that. And the damn handle came out of my numb hand. I couldn't feel that it was slipping, and boom, it was on the lanyard. By the time I got it, I bumped it in the nose, but it wasn't very high off the ground. So all it did was break the prop and break the cheap Sullivan white plastic ball link on the elevator, and tore some monocoque. But now the stingle piece of wood is broken, so that's just about a 30-minute fix, and it'll be back to normal. The engine didn't even get dirty, so that was that. I was disappointed. That's not quite the way I planned it, but that at my state of recovery, that plane's too much for me to fly. I'll have to go back to the Twister, which doesn't pull so hard, and that's what I'll take to Huntersville.
Somebody just came on.
Yeah, hey, Spark.
Oh, it's Tom in the cavern.
The shadow is here. It's Mike. I'll see if I can get some more light somehow. But yeah, how's everyone been?
Robin will bring you a flashlight.
If the light's in front of you, we can see you. If the light's behind you, we can't see you.
Oh, boy.
We can see the glint from your glasses occasionally.
You could always buy one of these.
That's what I want. I hadn't been to Lowe's since you showed us that.
But it ain't from Lowe's. It's from Bell and Howell. It's off the TV.
Oh, well, I could probably get that from As Seen on TV at Walmart or something.
$20. Well, actually, $28 for two.
Oh wow, that's a good price. Yeah, it does work. Hopefully that's not too
to
bright.
college at DeVry University to study electronics. Bell and Howell owned DeVry. That's who that university was founded by. Bell and Howell. Somebody asked me, "What do y'all do all day? Sit around and work on movie projectors?" I'm like, no, not exactly.
The nice thing about this light is now that it's turned on now, I'm going to have to simulate it. You see it's plugged in.
Yeah.
When the power goes out.
Emergency lighting. Nice.
That's really nice.
So.
That's something to show Rusty, as in, when was the last time you saw one of those, Rusty?
I've never seen, well, I have seen one in real life, but not since maybe 2014 when one of my little Cox Engine Forum buddies brought one over to the house to play with.
Is that an 010 or an 020?
That's an that's a TD020.
How? I couldn't tell. I thought it was a 10. It came out of my dad's miniature so long.
The front rotary is called a TD, and the reed valve version is called a Pee-wee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's bigger than the, that's a lot bigger than the 010. You'd be amazed at how small that 010 is. I've got one on.
That prop on it is like a 3 3/4 by no pitch.
Oh, we got a new visitor.
A little airplane we flew down at Paducah. The whole airplane was about that big.
Yeah.
Like flying a bee on a string.
About 15 feet. That's what I flew mine on. Frederico Prolong. Hello, my friends. Hello, Frederico. Welcome. I don't remember if we've had you visit with us before, but welcome to the Stunthangar Hangouts. You're welcome to chat and tell us anything we need to know or ask questions, and we'll try to oh, he's got one too, and we'll try to incorporate whatever you guys over on YouTube have to say into our video.
Where are you from, Frederico? I can't see the chat.
Where are you from, Fred? I'm not Frederico, it's Federico. Sorry, I pronounced it wrong. Federico.
¿Dónde eres?
I don't know.
¿Dónde está en el sanitario?
Y'all don't make fools of yourselves in front of the visitors now.
I'm only asking where the bathroom is.
Crazy Americans. Oh, he's from Argentina.
Oh, cool.
From Carolina Forista to Muy Bonita. He'll know who that is. He's part of the Hobby Show TV crew.
So it's beginning to get nice and cold down in Argentina because y'all are way below the equator, if I'm not mistaken, down at the bottom end of South America.
In case you wanted to hear something really weird, here in Colorado, we had virtually no winter in southern Colorado, and it started snowing today.
Wow. We had a 80-degree weather today.
We had about 78 or 79 today, but it's supposed to snow tomorrow.
Well, it'll probably be the kind of snow that looks pretty in the morning and is undetectable by lunchtime, I hope.
Well, we've had it off and on all day, but we desperately needed it. It's been dry as a bone down.
We had gale winds to 50-mile-an-hour gusts.
Oh, geez. We've been fighting that. In fact, I was at a board meeting for this little town last night, and our town clerk is also an EMT or emergency responder. They had a fire above the next town up, Bon Carbo, actually up about 10,000, 11,000 feet on a mountain pass. So I'm sure they're very grateful to have gotten some snow. Yeah, that's a rough.
Okay, we got another new visitor. Ever since you made it public, Sparky, we've got some traffic. Eduardo Letty says, hi, guys. Hello, welcome, Eduardo. We are talking about well, we hadn't really gotten started yet, but we're talking about aeromodeling. Eduardo is a Brazilian guy watching from Paris, France.
That's interesting.
Well, Paris, France, or at least France anyway, is where the World Championship control line contest is being held this year in July.
Yep.
I wanna know about the guy in Argentina, if he knows Carolina Forista.
Well, if he does, maybe he'll tell us.
She is beautiful. Have you watched any Hobby Show TV? Maybe I'll grab her off of Hobby Show TV and promote their channel a little bit.
Eduardo and Federico, are you guys aeromodelers? Model airplanes? Control line is our specialty, but we like everybody that likes airplanes. Yes, we have. Oh.
Let me open this up.
Yeah, Federico confirms he knows who you're talking about.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, pop that chat out. It's handy to have next to the video window. Eduardo's a pilot and aeromodeler. Excellent. It's sad that more people buy styrofoam than build out of wood these days. Like a bunch of flying beer coolers out there. Oh, they got a control line school in Brazil, according to Ed. Mind if I call you Ed for short?
Here's one Sparky you'll probably recognize. It's missing a needle valve, but I got it freed up.
Is that a rear induction? Hold it, let me click on that so the YouTubers can see it big. Oh yeah, rear induction. What is that?
That, I believe, is the original Fox Rocket 09.
I don't recognize it.
Ed said he's just getting back into the hobby now. And Federico says he's just a beginner. Yeah, I was a beginner back in 2013 at Stunt competition, but I've been flying since I was 12 with half-A little planes.
Yeah.
Man, I wish we do have a education center at Triple Tree Aerodrome up where they have the Joe Nall, and so I guess you could say we have a control line school, but I don't know how many. I don't know what they're doing up there with it. My buddy Wayne volunteers up there a lot. Oh, we got a chat message on our in-house chat. That's somebody that says unmute me. That was Sparky a long time ago.
Yeah. I muted myself. We'll install, he's got a G51 Super Tiger going to go in his 660 Stiletto.
Oh, is that what Letty is? Stiletto?
Yeah.
That's the one that won 2 of his 3 world championships.
I think Jared Hayes likes to fly the Stiletto, or his dad. One of those guys flies the Stiletto at contests. Cool. Maybe both of them. I forget.
Eduardo watches all my building videos, so he says.
I've looked at a lot of those over the years.
Yeah, I was looking for one about superfill the other day. I found one where you were putting superfill on the inside of a full-bodied airplane, but I didn't find anything about fillets and that sort of thing, which I was looking for.
Well, I've done it a couple of ways now. I got one of these. It's a syringe.
Yeah, the monoject syringe. I got one of those. I've done it with this. If you want a real small fillet, you can do it, but it's hard to get the putty inside the tube. Yeah. It doesn't want to go in there. But I did the one voodoo with this, and but what I normally do on the fillets is I
tape them off. I tape a straight line where I want the fillet to stop, and then I go around the fuselage. I just take my finger and wipe it in there.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Or use Jim Lee's ball bearings. Those are pretty good.
Don't lick your finger.
Nah, probably, or pick your nose.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
I use rubbing alcohol to smooth it out with. You don't hardly have to sand it at all.
It's got a window for easy sanding, I hear too, but I don't know exactly what time frame that is.
Let's see. Federico says we are some.
Put some stuff on the classifieds. I think you can tell.
Trying to do control line. I learn a lot from technical issues while I watch the chat live and Sparky videos.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're one of our watchers. I know we've got a lot of viewers. For instance, we've got 10 people viewing right now, and I don't always know who they are, but I'm sure are glad y'all are out there.
I think from now on, just make them public. Don't keep them private.
Yeah, I will until the little kids start coming in and disrupting us again.
Yep. As you can tell, I'm getting ready to put some stuff on the classifieds. These are all a bunch of my dad's old engines, and I have no use for any of them, including the 020, and I've got that new in the box TD049.
All right, $20 for the 020. Gotcha, Mike. Send them my way.
And what's my bid on this, Jim?
What is it? G2135?
Brand new in the box, never been run, paperwork.
Oh wow! Where did you come across that?
I have friends.
Yeah, that's like the one I'm putting in the Mathis airplane. And
The Venturi and needle valve are still in the original package.
Yep.
With the instructions and the original packing.
Oh wow!
It's not for sale.
Hey, Jamie.
Sell that one.
Jamie, Federico asks what you're working on there.
I'm just about to start the fuselage for the twister.
Building another airplane, huh?
No, same one.
Hey, Frank, what's up?
Oh,
I
hey,
don't know if
Frank.
anyone wants to mess with old combat also. There's another one that's going.
That's a Fox 36.
Actually, that's a Fox rocket, the original combat one, or second to original.
Frank, we've missed you. Glad you're back. Hope you can come in live with us sometime.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of miscellaneous everything. I took some stuff out of some old timers. If some people want some mid-sized ignition engines with all the ignition, I tore the planes apart to get them, but I've got a Forester 29 with all the ignition stuff. I have a Forester 31 Glow, and I have an Olsen and Rice 23 with all the ignition stuff.
What do you want for the Olsen with all the stuff?
Hey, Charles Carter.
I'm trying to,
How
how about
to call you this evening and
How
see if
about
everything was okay. I'm glad you showed up.
Oh, thank you.
what?
Send me a PM on Stunthangar.
I will. I don't know. I've also got one I may try to get in touch with Jim Lee for, unless you know somebody that wants to fly what is that monster?
Is it a 60?
Yeah, it's an OK Super 60.
That's what I want. You got all the stuff for it?
That one, it's got the points and stuff on the engine, but I don't have the coils and stuff for it.
Send me a PM. I'll send you the money.
Okay.
Hey, how's my brother from another mother?
Doing well. How are you doing, man?
Doing all right.
We even resemble each other. I need to work on my tan this year, though.
Yes. I know you threatened you can be as dark as me, you said.
Yeah, I was. I think wasn't I super dark when I met you?
You was darker than you are now. That's for darn sure.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
we've been
got
outside in 6 months.
yeah, he's got his winter face on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So what you been doing in your absence, Charles?
Oh, just a lot of family stuff. No,
That's
I've
what I was.
a teenage daughter and other kids growing up, and just they keep me busy and activities.
Yeah.
Then I've been working on my Strega. Just been having the most frustrating time with it. So today was another frustrating day. Couldn't get it to run, and
Oh boy.
I even at the field took out the tank and swapped out the tank and just trying to figure out what's going on. And
Yeah, that gets old in a hurry.
it does. I haven't really had a good flight in over a week,
Oh man.
and I'm preparing for a contest. I have a contest on the 28th and 29th.
Oh boy.
I'm just trying to get it
Hopefully
together.
get something happening so you can get some practice.
Yeah, I'm going to fly tomorrow or attempt to fly tomorrow.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
I've been kind of missing in action because I've been still battling what kind of took me out in January. I think finally, that blood clot in my right leg is trying to dissolve.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Well,
this one was a whole lot scarier than the first time. It started in two places below or at the knee and below the knee. And then 2 days later, they had merged and went about halfway up my thigh.
Wow.
So, needless to say, I spent 5 days in the hospital and have been fighting with this thing ever since. On Coumadin.
Frederico, is that a Ringmaster Junior hanging on the wall under construction behind you?
Oh, and for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, above the door. Yeah, that's one I had bought used. Yep.
Ringmaster.
Yeah, I'll get some.
That looks like
I can try to get you some pictures too, Sparky, on these. I've got the Forster and the Olsen and Rice sitting up here.
Let's see. I see a lightning streak or something hanging on the wall back there.
Yeah, it's a lightning streak. That's one of them.
And I've got a bunch of RC engines, and I've got 3 of these little jewels, but one of them is completely, I don't think gummed up, I think seized up.
What's that, a Wenmac?
Nope.
Okay, Cub?
Fire. I've got 2 of them that are loose and usable with tank. And the third one I've been trying to free up, and I think it must have locked the rod up or something because it will not free up.
I'm interested in
free. What?
I'm interested in the Ignition 60s and that Ocean and Rice, and just send me a list of what you got.
Yeah, I sure will. Got a mixed batch of everything. I've got those. I've got some Winmax. I've got lots of.
I'm not interested in any half A's.
Yeah, I've got a Cox half A's. This one, I don't know what it is. Probably Rusty does.
Now let me click on that.
That's a Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a Cox. That's just a plain old Cox 049.
Yeah. That's not the Black Widow, is it?
No.
No, it's just a product engine.
Yeah.
It came out of like one of their Stukas or Mustangs or one of them.
Yeah.
Dennis.
It's an 049 Sparky probably will recognize, but not too many others.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing tonight?
Good evening. How's everyone doing?
What is that one?
Good.
Holland Hornet 049 XX.
Hey, you got a problem with your camera, Dennis? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis usually rolls in sideways. He straightens right up, though.
What are you building there on the bench? Make that bigger, Rusty.
This is a Gladiator 35.
Oh, wow.
Looking good.
Looks very good.
There.
You're going to have it ready by the 28th and 29th?
No, no. Unless I give up eating and sleeping, I don't want to do that.
I didn't hear what you said.
Unless I want to give up eating and sleeping.
Oh yeah.
then,
Well, that works.
That's the same era as the Colossus, isn't it?
this is what, 68?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
That's a pretty plane.
It is.
Yeah, it's got some nice lines.
Is that old time stunt?
No,
Classic.
Classic.
Hey, Michael, send me a list of what you're going to be selling.
Yeah, I'll put together a list and probably put some on the classifieds, but I'll let Sparky have first dibs since he's wanting at least 2 of them. There's the Olsen.
Let's see. Uh-huh.
And find the right batch of ignition. I literally had to demolish an old timer to get them out.
Right. Let's see the 60.
I can, yeah, let me go. I'll put me on mute and go downstairs. It's downstairs.
Okay.
If I can remember how. It's been a
We
while.
can do it.
You're gonna be making noise while you're gone anyway, probably.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Not unless his dog comes in and starts woofing. Federico agrees. Nice plane, Dennis. He's on our YouTube side. We got a good crowd of YouTube viewers tonight. We appreciate you guys coming in to visit with us.
I want Frederica to tell Carolina I love her.
Get in line. Oh, Frank just joined us live. Hey, Frank.
How's
Hey, who
everybody
is
doing?
that guy? He ain't got no beard.
No, I shaved her all off. How's everybody doing?
For me, I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
That's good. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been on.
Been doing anything for fun or just weathering the winter? Now it's getting nice in our part of the country. Hey, that's
What is
that
that?
chicken tissue plane.
That's a Gillows P40 I was working on last time I was here.
Nice.
Says Federico says your T-shirt is nice. I'll buy one on the website. I want to have one. And they come in all colors. Of course, we got the chicken wings too. The Stunthangar chicken wing shirt.
Let me pop that up so the tubers can see it. Yeah, there we go.
It turned out pretty nice.
It did.
They are sharp. I like that shirt.
Of course, we got the coffee mugs. I should do the pillowcases and the flags and stuff too. I don't know. I don't think guys are going to want pillowcases.
I got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pillowcase on my bed right now. I took a pillow with that one on it to Huntersville one time, and Mike Leinke walked in the room and said, "Who the hell's sleeping on that pillow?"
Hold it up again, Mike. I didn't see it.
Let me click Mike up.
Yep, I'll take that one. What size is that propeller? 11?
That is a Top Flight 14.6.
Yeah.
This was on a 1938 design called a Firebird originally.
Does it turn over?
Yep.
Hold it up again and let me see it.
It turns over nice. It's not seized up at all. Shows how little my dad probably ran it. Because that he didn't get enough caster in there to seize it up or anything.
Do most people run those on gasoline and castor or nitro alcohol and castor?
And like clots. I don't remember. I think a later Flying Models thing showed using a quart of clots to a gallon of Coleman stove fuel.
Holy shit, that's some volatile stuff.
It's basically just highly refined gasoline. It's white
Yeah.
gas.
super highly refined. I just found out how highly it was one night when I decided to light a bonfire with it.
Whoops. Yeah, that stuff.
And you know, when in Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, when Khan blew up the Genesis device and that big ring of concussion ring went out in every direction through space, that's what it looked like when I threw a match from 40 feet away onto the top of that pile of sticks.
Wow.
I mean, I knew good enough to stand way away, but I was still dumb enough to use Coleman fuel. And let me tell you what, when that stuff goes off, it goes off in a hurry.
I'll tell you what I did one time. Living in the desert, this lady hired me to watch her house. See, it was a duplex. So I pulled my motorcycle. She didn't have any heat in there, but we had a fireplace. I pulled my motorcycle into the kitchen, and this guy that I was, you know, staying with, two guys staying in this house to watch this house, he went out and he stole a bunch of 2x4s. So we had a fireplace, 2x4s, and my motorcycle. And we put the 2x4s into the fireplace, and I didn't have any starting fuel or anything like that. I said, well, we'll just use some gasoline. So I took a beer can and I went over to my motorcycle and I undid the fuel line and I got a can of gasoline and I poured it, I poured a beer can's worth of gasoline into the fireplace. Tommy said, light it, light it, light it. I said, no, let's let it, you know, soak in.
Let it gas off a little.
Yeah, bad mistake. I just struck the match and I went like this and I put it down and it went whoosh and it burned off. Burned my beard off, my hair off, made the windows. Blew out the front window. It was got a good fire going, but wow.
Yeah, I bet it threw out a big pressure wave from that little fireplace cavity.
Yeah, well, it was in the living room, and you know, a beer can of gas in the fireplace, and you know, let it fume off, and I let it fume off for a minute or so, so that's just the right amount of.
Wow.
Did y'all have to fix a bunch of damage before the lady came home?
The window in the front room.
Yeah.
Blew the window out. But man, it burned every bit of my eyebrows, my beard, my hair. It burned it all out.
Not good.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's funny now, isn't it?
Yeah. Tommy, he was my best friend. He's dead now, but we had a lot of good times.
Federico asked, where do you find that engines? Which engines you talking about, Federico?
They were on his dad's airplanes.
Yeah. Or in the collector's case,
You guys that had dads.
Fox and the Holland Hornet were in a showcase he had, along with the baby Spitfires and
RW Bishop's got to run. Which one is that?
See you later, Bob.
Yep.
Bob Bishop.
Yeah. Those of you guys that had dads that were modelers are lucky because you got a lot of old exposure to old stuff like that. And
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, mine didn't. Mine wasn't a model. He had flown before, but he didn't have any stuff.
my dad messed with about a little bit of everything. But early on growing up as 8, 9, 10 years old, we were part of a model airplane club in Boulder. In fact, for a while there, we were one of three families that kept it going.
I had 3 instances in my life where I screwed up by not saving these things. One of them, I sold to Gerald Champ. He's on our forum. He's a friend of mine that I used to fly with in Eugene, Oregon, because I was a Eugene prop spinner. Was a brand new in the box, with a blue metal box, McCoy 60 Redhead.
Oh wow!
Brand new. If I'd have kept it, I sold it for $50, and I thought, you know, that was big money. But that motor's worth big money now. I also had an original Dynajet, brand new. I threw it away, and I also had a dueling tether car that I threw out. And that dueling tether car would bring $4,000 to $5,000 now, but I threw it away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even which size was that tether car? The 60 or the
Yeah.
29?
60. It was about that long. It was all aluminum.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Because that Hellraiser I have has the dueling 29 in it.
I had the Cox Doom buggy and the one Cox car. Can't remember the other car.
There's a prop rod or something like that.
I don't remember the car. I just remember the Doom buggy, but I know I had another tether car from Cox.
Did it have a gearbox to the wheels, or was it propelled by a fan blade?
The Doom buggy was worm drive.
Gearbox. I remember that. Dude. Not yours, but I remember seeing the Doom buggy.
Yeah, Cox used to make a lot of interesting stuff, not just airplanes.
Well, they make the chipmunk that actually stunts.
The little ones? Yeah.
It's a half-8
Yeah.
chipmunk. And it's red, white, and blue, just like our show's chipmunk, and it's a Cox, and it'll fly upside down and do loops and all that shit.
That's pretty cool.
See what Dennis is doing, feeling around with his hands to see where to sand. I'm losing my feeling so bad, it's getting hard to do that anymore.
Oh,
Got a couple of fingers that can still feel the bumps and nicks. I'm hoping I can get it back. I got an appointment to see about that.
yeah, hopefully.
Okay, buenas noches, Eduardo.
Yeah.
Okay, Ed says, going to bed over here, 4:30 in the morning. Nice group you have. Thanks, Ed. Come back and see us again. And if you got enough bandwidth, join us live on camera. Good night. I'll type you a message too.
Adios. Don't
Good.
forget to tell Caroline I love her.
Miss South Carolina.
No, Carolina Florista. She is beautiful. I'm gonna steal that. Next Friday I'll join you. Okay.
Is
Okay,
that the woman you showed us in a video one time? She was interviewing someone.
That's right.
Okay, I know who you're talking about now.
She is beautiful.
Oh, man.
I'm typing messages. Good night and thanks, because Frederico is taking off too. It's dark and late over there.
Got that spring off of there. This one's still pretty gummed up. I'm going to try to get in ungummed. Between
He'll come back next Friday and join us.
between this stupid clot and trying to deal with the VA the last few months, I haven't been doing much of anything else.
Charles, no one can see that on the YouTube side.
Oh, okay.
The guys that can see that are in the chat here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, over on the YouTube watch page, if you click those 3 dots, and there's an option to pop the chat out, and you can then reshape it and drag it over beside your video screen and watch it.
I was wondering why it was low views. Have you been going back and turning them into public? I didn't notice.
That's the first thing I do after I close the show. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just not been in any place to even think about anything.
And then as soon as I do that, everybody that subscribes gets their notifications, but not before that.
Well, it's a shame that we got to go through those sections just because of knuckleheads.
We'll stay public until we get hit like that again, or if I invite anybody special on for some reason, I'll do that unlisted just to be sure that we have a good show. But yeah, I like it when we get a good crowd over on YouTube, and I know they like it when they know we're on, because we're on. But I don't know if they're members of Stunthangar or not. I post the link to the watch page along with the link to the video in the At the Bench thread, but everybody doesn't remember to check.
You know, one thing that I did good with all the frustration I had, I was my prop kept coming loose because I have a prop extension on this K77, because the K77 sits further back than the Stalker 81 did. So I put a prop extension in there, but my prop kept coming loose whenever I was going for a bump. No matter how tight, I mean, I was using a, you know, like a Craftsman style wrench, and I wasn't using that little Fox 4-way wrench. I was using a true wrench. I couldn't get it tight enough. I used sandpaper. I knurled all the surfaces. I just could not get it to stay tight. So I had an idea I pinned it. So I took a roll pin and pressed it into the prop extension and drilled a hole in my back plate of my spinner, and problem went away. No more prop getting loose. So that was kind of a neat discovery.
Yeah, whatever works. And I don't think there's much more frustrating than having a prop come loose.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking here I'm at a contest and I'm at my third attempt, and prop comes loose. That's all I would need.
If I don't use the spinner for balancing, I take it off at contests.
Okay.
For that reason.
But if you want the spinner, I think that buy some roll pins. I bought a 16th inch roll pin and pressed it in, drilled a hole and pressed it into the prop extension, and I used some red Loctite to lock it in there, and it's a great solution as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
sounds like a really good solution.
Did you ever try Loctite on the threads?
No, I never thought to do that.
I'm not sure you'd want to use the red on it, but the blue maybe.
Yeah, I don't want to use the red on that.
Yeah, in the red sleeve retainer stuff, it ain't good.
It's more permanent.
Green is sleeve retainer, bearing retainer.
Yeah.
Put green on it, you'll never get it off.
I've only had to re-bearing one engine that I've ever owned, and that was a Thunder Tiger Pro 25. And it started sounding like it was crushing rocks. And so I got some new bearings from Boca Bearings, and it was a pretty easy job. And Boca's a good company. They got great customer service, and they got videos to show you how to do things too. I think they came around by specializing in fishing reel bearings and other fishing tackle items. Yes.
Anyway,
what's the green for? I didn't quite understand what you're talking about.
Bearing retainer.
Yeah, bearing retainer. Don't use it.
Or also called sleeve retainer. And it didn't work for that for me the one time I tried it. I was trying to lock a sleeve back down in a 8-in Ford, and it still didn't lock down.
You use the primer for it?
No, there's probably the problem. The problem was it was an 8-in Ford. God. Which meant it was older than me.
Looks like Dennis took a break. This screen is grayed up.
You're tired.
Living the dream.
Oh yeah, your thumbnail's grayed out, Dennis. Is that something you did on your end? Your thumbnail and the row of pictures down at the bottom, it's grayed out and I can't highlight it.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know why.
I've kind of seen him fade. Yeah, it's all great. We can't hardly see it.
It's dim.
Almost as dark as me usually.
You can't even click on it.
Maybe.
You can't even click on it.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't do anything when you click on it either. I was going to. Okay. I just tried because I heard you sanding, so I was going to focus on you just for interest. I'll focus on Jamie. He's got some work in front of him.
Yeah.
Hope you don't get stage fright.
Yeah. Doing my custom cockpit for the Twister.
I guess Tom
That's what I
must
was
be busy tonight. He's
asked.
usually one of our usual visitors.
That's what I was going to ask James. How'd that fire cat work?
Not too well.
I'm sorry.
Not too well. I got like 3 flights on it. I think when it came down, it was just tail heavy.
Oh,
Or I read the CG wrong.
There you go, Dennis. That's back to normal.
And the last time I flew it, I mean, when I'd barely give it any up, that thing would just want to, the tail just want to swing hard. It just want to corner bad.
Tail heavy.
So I'm thinking this, for one, the spacing on the handle was just totally wrong. And then tail heavy is probably the main thing. But at one point, I ended up pancaking it. Boom. And it shot straight up and kept flying. Motor never stopped. Kept going. And,
Break the prop.
after it landed, everybody was asking me, "Man, I didn't know you put dihedral in the wing." I didn't. It's well, it cracked right at the fuselage, and so it was flying with a dihedral the whole time. I still got it. I just need a little bit of epoxy, patch up the wing a little bit, figure out the CG better, and that's all it really needs. But
You were running too light a motor, I guess. I can't remember what my dad's or my dad that my mom flew had in it.
yeah, this was a
535 or something.
had an Enya 19. What did Joe Gilbert told me to try? Can't remember the first prop I tried. He said to try, I think, an 8.4.
Yeah.
If that don't do it, do an 8.6. And I think when I went to the 8.6, I had pull to it. So it felt good. And I mean, it was a good lap time. It was just tail heavy and just was not.
Yeah.
It was not that good of a flyer. It was so sensitive. I mean,
Oh man.
it would wing over really good. Just barely pull on it. Shoot right above you.
Yeah.
But a loop was kind of odd.
Just couldn't get it to groove, huh?
Nah. But the handle I used on this Mentor right here, and I matched it up to my Ringmaster handle that I use. That's got 4-inch spacing, so I matched the lines up, 4-inch spacing with this plane, and the plane flies 10 times better now than it did the last few times I flew it because just changing the spacing on the handle.
Well, guys, I'm going to hit it.
Yep.
See you guys
Have a
next-
good evening. Good to see you again, Spark. I'll PM you about these and send some pictures.
All right.
Yeah, take it
Fair
easy.
wind, sky lines.
Take care,
Yeah.
Sparky.
Yeah, Spark.
See ya.
Right.
Have a good night. Cool.
Snowing balsa all over me.
So what's everybody got going on this weekend? Anybody got flying plans?
Yeah, flying with the wind and the rain.
Oh yeah.
100% tomorrow, but it's supposed to be perfect Sunday. So if the
We got-
guys want to go fly Sunday, I'm jumping on it.
We got perfect tomorrow and 100% rain Sunday.
I'm hoping to fly tomorrow. I'm
First
gonna
time this year have snow.
Hope I can get some shop time this week. It's I get on a roll with the Cardinal and then kind of back off for a little while. I get when I get sore from the concrete floor, it lasts about 3 or 4 days, so I kind of get out of the groove. But those lengths of time are shortening now. I've been to the field twice this week and done a lot of walking on the grass out there and have not had any noticeable soreness the next day. So I'm coming along. I was complaining about all of the aches and pains, and my wife pointed out, Rusty, you're not even 6 months out from surgery yet, you know, and she's right. So
Don't want to overkill it.
Recovery always seems to take forever, no matter what age you are.
even the most minor
The worse it
surgery,
gets.
even the most minor surgery, it's a year before you realize the full effect. So yeah, I'll try to be patient. If my hands weren't going crippled, I'd be a lot less anxious about it.
Yeah, that ain't a good thing.
Yeah, I know, but we'll see. I got plans to see if we can try to fix it, but it's a long shot.
Okay.
I got some
Keep that
videos
in prayer.
today of Wayne flying my P40 and just the Congaree field, and I'll try to post that up on YouTube pretty soon. I hadn't seen Daryl posting much lately, our Hogs and Plains friend from Canada. I wonder how he's doing.
The only videos I've seen him post was just his gun videos. That was about it.
Yeah.
That's good, Frank.
Yeah.
That is definitely a pretty airplane.
Yeah, I got it locked in for the YouTube to record.
What kind of wing area does that thing have?
That's a nice fat wing.
Yeah.
Especially for an old time. Or it looks like it on the camera anyway.
I'm thinking it's more, it's
Your wing,
classic.
Danny.
No, it's probably past, what's the year cutoff for classic?
I don't know, 25 or something like that, maybe.
68 airplane.
That changes every year, doesn't it?
I don't know.
No, classic doesn't change.
Oh,
The N30 changes.
Yeah. What kind of wing area has that got?
648 square inches.
oh, that's pretty big. Yeah, that's a
I
big
thought that was a pretty good sized airplane.
Yeah.
58-inch wingspan.
Yeah.
And this is the small one. The Gladiator
one's
45 is like a 63-inch wingspan.
Yeah. Yeah, 58's not all that big, so that is a fairly wide, I guess, wide cord. Do you count the flaps in the cord measurement?
Yeah, I do.
It definitely is not a high aspect wing.
With the flaps, it's about 5 to 1.
Yeah.
Microphone makes it sound like you're using 40 grit sandpaper.
It's probably me you're hearing.
Oh, maybe it is.
Or could be me.
Let me go over. I'll go over and focus on Jamie a little bit. Oh no, that's different. I was listening to Frank Bearing his brother with the fuselage. Yeah, when I was shaping the tripler on my Cardinal, it was 60 grit, I believe, 60 or 80, and man, I tell you what, it's aggressive. You got to be careful. I looked like a snowman from the waist down when I got through sanding that thing.
That's what I'm looking like right now.
Kevin Muckleroy just rolled out the plans for his Cardinal profile, a bit smaller than his 92 Cardinal 60. Yeah, a 60 size Cardinal. That's a bigger plane. Tom Weedman had a 60 size Twister in Huntersville last May, and that was a big old. Wait, was it a Twister? I think it was. I can't remember for sure now, but it was a big old plane, profile plane. Wonder if Tom watches us. I enjoy talking to him.
Thomas Whitman?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It comes to Huntersville.
Rusty, are you on our Control Line Flying Facebook group?
I'm a member of it, but I never look at it. I
Oh.
see notifications from it.
Yeah, well, me and Dane Martin's running it now. And we just gave away 2 voodoo kits this past week.
Oh,
Oh,
I'll
cool.
try to pay more attention to it. You know, I only open Facebook about once a month. My wife looks at it on the weekends in the morning before I wake up, but I hardly ever.
Yeah, 'cause,
I noticed that with me too. I don't do Facebook hardly at all.
and here's my new cockpit for the Twister. Instead of the like almost
That's so much.
shape,
Yeah, that
That
looks
is so
nice.
much better.
yeah, I just went like a straight angle in the front and then just
Yeah.
swept it back. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna do like a block, but then again,
That other thing on the Twisters is ugly. That makes it ugly.
But what I don't like or what I don't understand with this kit is the rudder. You know, it shows the size of it on the plans and it don't match up, line up, don't even fit, nothing. And that's I've done looked at my other Twister kit and it's the exact same thing. It's like
Yeah, my Twister rudder doesn't look like any of the other ones I've seen either. But it's,
I mean, I was planning on cutting this one up anyway, but
mine's a lot sleeker. I think it's a little lower than most of the Twister vertical stabs.
Yep. Because I might make mine look like the Fancherized one. It's like kind of square.
Yeah,
Not too sure yet.
mine's got kind of
I've never been around enough.
a razorback turtleneck sort of thing.
Looked at
All
pictures.
the way
Not a pretty
to
airplane.
the back of the cockpit and then blends into the cockpit. What were you saying? I was talking over you, Tom.
Or was it me or Tom?
No, I mean Mike. Excuse me.
Yeah, I've looked at pictures of a Twister. I don't think I've ever been around one, and they are not a pretty airplane to me.
It just depends because
What my Umlin Twister looks like, haven't you?
No, I don't think I have.
like
I was almost thinking with a profile like that rounded tail for the Excalibur would look awfully good on that, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of rounded, almost 30s, 40s style rudder.
Yeah.
the guy in our club has it's either an Umlin Twister or it's Fancherized for sure, but I don't know if it's an Umlin kit or not. But man, that thing he did good on it. Just a little orange and white and flies the hell out of it.
Good deal.
Oh, it flies good. He uses a Tower 40 on it. It just flies amazing. Oh yeah, this cockpit's like way much. How can I say it? Smaller than the plan show, but that's good. What I'm aiming for. You know what I don't like is these stupid motor mounts on this kit. You fit them in there, and you got a big old gap.
Oh, lovely.
Russ, you never built the SIG Twister, huh? Only the Umlin, I would imagine.
Right.
All right. Let's see if I can show y'all.
Was it die smashed or laser?
Red SIG, though. Now watch. I let go of it.
Yeah.
You see the gaps?
Quality go.
You know.
Hey,
Which
James,
I had some Bodak kids do the same thing. But what I usually do, I just clamp it down, epoxy the hell out of it, and then put on the doublers.
Hey, Jamie, I built a French-rise Twister, a SIG kit.
Uh-huh.
Here's a picture of mine in the nude.
There,
Oh.
I got mine screen sharing right now if you want to see it.
Uh,
It's pretty sharp. And I like
Yeah.
Charles's too.
yeah.
Let me click on it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pull it back a little, Charles. It's a little fuzzy.
yeah, it's a
There,
little.
there we go.
Okay.
I'll click on him.
That's
That's
nice.
in the nude.
Yeah. How did that get on the news?
No, in the nude.
Naked. His
In
plane's
the nude.
naked.
Okay, I'm not
Naked.
hearing well today. Yeah, that's pretty sharp. I like that.
Sans clothing.
Sans silk span.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, what's happening?
Not too much. How's it going?
Doing well.
We're good.
Hinesworth, how's it going?
Good. So, Charles, you've been flying that Strega?
I've been trying. I have had the most frustrating week. I mean, I go out there and can't get it to run or stay running, and just been frustrating. So I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden it just stopped running. You know,
That's auto sabotage.
yeah, I think Dennis is trying to sabotage me.
I'm working on it.
Did
Well,
you switch engines or something, or is it still the 81?
No, I put a K77 in there,
Yeah.
and it was working fine. You know, I suspect, you know, I shimmed the engine a little bit. I put a little taller motor mount pad in there, just a little bit taller. So I was trying to get it to run a little bit leaner on the outside maneuvers, and ever since then, my wife reminded me today, as a matter of fact, you had it flying great Saturday. What happened? And I started thinking about what I did, and I just didn't think that I would do it. Such a small amount. I mean, literally, the difference is probably
like
a 64th of an inch.
Sounds like that engine's touchy as all get out.
I'm going to put it back to where it was tonight after I get off the call and hopefully go flying tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I haven't flown a pattern. I mean, most of April I haven't flown a pattern.
Oh,
I've
wow.
been having problems.
Yeah, and it looks like Dennis getting ready to cover. He's going to be having that plane all campaigned and ready to go. The next contest you guys meet at.
No, the next contest is 2 weeks.
Oh,
Is that wing glued in yet, Dennis?
It's tacked in.
Is it?
Yeah.
You tack it with CA and then flow epoxy into it?
Yeah, I'll glass it on the inside and the outside.
Oh, that's gonna be one pretty airplane.
Yeah, that is pretty, Dennis.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sig.
which one is that again?
The Gladiator 35.
Oh, it's a Gladiator. Okay. Well, that's right. I'm trying to think about.
the kit of it, but this one's built from scratch.
It's awfully big for a 35.
You got to see that other. What's the other Gladiator? The Gladiator 45.
Yeah, Gladiator 45.
That thing's got what, 60-inch wingspan or something?
63 inch.
Yeah, that's huge.
705 square inches, something like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that why you didn't build it?
What's that?
Is that why you didn't build the other one? Is it because it's too big?
Yeah, I can't fit it in my car.
Okay, yeah.
61 inches is maximum.
Feel bad. I could barely fit a Cardinal in the backseat of my Ranger.
Now, does this Gladiator have wing gear or fuselage gear?
It's got wing gear. I don't know if you can see.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when I get to that point, I'm going to need y'all's advice for building the wing gear in the Cardinal.
Nice.
Has that got a 75 in it also, or?
No, this has an LA 46.
Oh, LA 46. Okay.
Was that a lost foam wing or just built up?
Built up.
Yeah, you missed it when he had it on his jig.
Oh. Yeah, I've been on a long
Kid
time.
or who's somebody's kid, an RSM or something?
RSM
Scratch
has the
built.
kit.
It's
He
pretty.
scratch built the whole thing though.
Oh, wow. That's coming out nice.
That looks gonna be good.
But yeah, we gave away 2 Vintage Performance Voodoo kits this week, and we did it in a raffle, 50 spots, and I think $2 a spot, 10 spots max per person.
You think you got enough exit?
What form is that, or what group are you?
It's the Control Line Flying group on Facebook.
Huh.
Well, are you laser cutting them kits, Jamie?
No, that's from Vintage Performance. That's the guy Stan something. He's from Northern Arkansas, but he's been doing ARFs and Voodoo ARFs, Junior Noblers, Ringmasters, a few different combat kits. Oh shit! Yeah, that's glued to the table. And
hate it when that happens.
That'll make that airplane really heavy now.
Oh yeah. But he offered up a couple of voodoo kits and got them sold. And Michael Anke won both of them.
Did he really?
Yeah. Instead of me just doing 2 different draws for everybody that paid, I did 1 draw for both planes. Yeah, it never crossed my mind to do 2 different ones. There we go. None of the super fill can't fix. And but yeah, I'm gonna do a baby voodoo, which is like a half-A version of the voodoo. Pat King is gonna give us a kit or 2 that we're gonna do it. We're not really getting the kits. Everybody that pays the entry for the raffle, all that money goes straight to the guy with the kit. So say if Pat King throws up a S1 Ringmaster and he charges $80, well, we'll figure out the amount of entries we need to figure out that $80 shipped, and then just give it to him. So it'd be like he's just selling a kit.
Or
So
anything over than the club gets to keep?
Oh, it's no club. I mean, it's just like me and Dane, we ain't getting nothing out of it. We're just passing along, putting out, basically giving people publicity to sell the kits. So we're going to be doing Brodak, RSM, Pat King, Vintage Performance, anybody else, maybe even Walter Umland if he wants to get involved with it. You know, so it's not like we're getting a discount or nothing. We're not getting a kit out of it, you know, because we're entering the raffle as well to try to win it, you know.
Oh, okay.
So in other words, it's like Brodak sells a magician for $80.
I'll be back.
Okay, Charles.
In a bit, Charles.
The only discount maybe that might be given is that the whatever retail price they sell it at, that's going to be the shipped price. So for Ringmasters at $80, $80 total and entry. Damn, it's bought and directly shipped.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, so we don't have to deal with shipping. It's just whoever makes the kit, they'll just send it to whoever wins.
Oh, you doing like an online raffle then, or?
Yeah, online raffle, and I live stream the draw. I use a random number generator online, just off any site, you know, and I live stream it from my phone while looking at my laptop. So you see me pick the number, and then whoever wins. Instead, that way it don't ensure or make anybody think that it's rigged or anything. You see whatever number I pick, that's it. And I don't pick the first number that pops up. I do like a couple of numbers, you know, to see just to show that they're all different, and then bam, whatever that last one is.
Oh, okay.
Jamie, those foam sanding blocks that you're using, they make 1, 2 that's got angled edges, the 3M brand, and for some reason you can't buy the little plastic box sanders anymore where you wrap the strip of paper around it and snap it together. And so I'll just take those soft pad sanding blocks and cut a piece of paper to wrap all the way around it, and then stick a bunch of sewing pins with the ball heads on them in to secure it. And that way you can change the paper when it gets used up. But that works pretty good, except once in a while I like to have a hard base underneath it. I guess put a piece of plywood under there.
Like for soft balsa, these do great. I found these on the job site. The painters were priming the walls to be painted, the dry walls, and they left them on a bucket and walked away. Well, I mean, hell, you just saved me $2.
Yeah. I like the ones with the
legit stole it. They left for the day. And in the construction world, you leave your tools out and you go home. That's fair game for everybody in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it works in Texas.
But I can't find them, and the people at Lowe's don't know where they are. But those little old plastic ones that you snap together with a sheet of paper that's already made to fit them, you can't get them anymore. I don't know if they quit making them because those foam ones are so available, but that kind of pisses me off. I don't know, mine's in the shop somewhere, or maybe it probably got thrown in the trash by accident. So
how'd your flying session go? Did I miss it earlier? Did you talk about it?
Tuesday I went out and the weeds were too stalky and woody, so we just sat and chatted. But yesterday we went back. Tuesday Wayne had brought a trainer of his design, a 46 size foam wing wood fuselage, kind of like a Yuki, only bigger. And but he didn't bring it back Thursday, and so I had to fly my P40. We had one trim issue back in October that we were going to check out, so I made that adjustment, and Wayne flew it yesterday, and it flew beautifully, tight on the lines everywhere, even up top. And so a little later on, I flew it, and I was doing about the same stuff, only a little better quality. Loops, inverted wing overs. I didn't do a full wing over. I was working up to it, and I decided to do a Pampa 8. Well, that P40 was pulling really hard. I've never had a plane that pulled that hard since, except for the Magnum years ago. But it pulled it out of my numb hands. I couldn't feel it slipping, and it was flying on the lanyard. Before I could recover it, I bumped it vertical straight into the ground. It broke the prop. It broke the cheap shit Sullivan ball link at the elevator, and it tore some monocoque, but not one single piece of wood was broken. The motor mounts are fine, and so I got about a 30-minute repair job to do on it. The engine didn't even get dirty. That was disappointing as hell, but that plane's too big and heavy for me to fly right now. I'm gonna have to back off to the Twister if I want to fly at Huntersville. So I think my plan for Huntersville, it would be smart if I just go and plan on spectating, maybe judge a little bit, beginner or something like that. I've been taught to judge, but I've never actually done it. So something simple. And if I feel really good about it, I'll take the Twister and enter it on Sunday maybe, and see if I can fly a pattern for the judges. But I ain't ready. I'm just not strong enough yet. And this thing about my hands, that started last year when the Twister got away from me and I broke the wing, and then at Triple Tree, same thing happened in an official, but I caught it with my pinky in the middle of an overhead 8 and got it back, and actually scored about a 26 on that overhead 8. So that was my winning flight for first place. And so I got to do something about that with the crippled hands. I'm having handle troubles. So I'm going to try to make a lanyard that's connected to both sides, so that if it gets out and is on the lanyard, it'll be in neutral instead of full up or full down.
Yeah.
But when I was stable, I didn't have any pain. About like I did at Huntersville, only it was a little bit longer flight, and it was flying at 5 seconds also with the LA-46. And so I was able to actually fly it rather than just keep up with it going round and round and round and round and round like I did at Huntersville the other day. So, and I also did the best takeoff I've ever done. I can really hold that P40 down. I rolled out a long rollout, lifted off and held it way close to the ground, and did a gradual climb to 5 feet, and probably the best takeoff I've ever done in the grass. And just other than that mishap of the handle coming out of my hand, then it would have been a great flight. But I ended up disappointed, but not too upset, because there's no real damage to the plane, just minor stuff. That's a tough bird, but it wasn't very high when it turned in and hit the ground either. But as far as my hip goes, I think it's getting there, and I was complaining about it, but Holly points out, like I was telling these guys a little while ago, Rusty, you ain't even 6 months out from surgery yet. Don't get too impatient. And she's right, and I just need to be careful and take my time.
Yeah, I know.
So that's
I
how
get
it
my own taste of that with this
Yeah.
stupid plot. I can't
I
hardly
know
get up
we're
and
both
do anything anymore.
yeah, Mike, we're both veterans of some pretty terrifying stuff. So, but I'm still here, and
Second
glad of
time
that.
was a whole lot worse than that first time, I'll tell you what.
Sometimes I feel like the life force is about gone, but other times I feel okay, and I'm sure I'll be here this time next year. So,
Yeah.
you know, I just gotta go with the flow.
Yeah. Oh, where was it? On Open Forum, or where did I see that? I saw something from Shirley Sheets that Jack's not doing well on his way out, basically.
Yeah.
Just last year when he was hospitalized the second time, I guess he had liver cancer, and it's getting worse.
Oh, that's awful.
Yep. Anything with that C word is awful. From my
Okay,
experience.
that concludes the geriatric gripe session for tonight.
I think so too.
Sponsored by hospital corporations of the world.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm getting off here tonight.
Okay.
We gross you
Have
out.
a good one.
Sorry about
No,
that.
no, I'm tired. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
Okay,
Frank.
thanks
There
for
you go.
coming in, Frank. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Coming. Ugh. Well, I better be getting
You guys on YouTube too. We got 8 viewers now. It keeps now 9 viewers. It keeps popping up. It's been as high as 12 for a while, and so we appreciate all you people watching on YouTube. And if you want to click that super chat $sign down at the bottom and give us a little change to help keep us online, we'd appreciate that. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. But thanks a lot for coming in and watching us. If you don't have the bandwidth or don't want to join live, then YouTube's a good other option on that watch page. And I always post both links on Stunthangar. If you're a member of Stunthangar, you can get to the At the Bench thread and get both links each night, even if we are not broadcasting publicly like we are tonight. That's why we got more traffic on YouTube tonight, because we're broadcasting publicly. But if the spammers come in and kick us off, y'all all know where to go, and I'll restart the show and post the links, and we can get back. But this close to closing time, I probably wouldn't. But any earlier in the show, and I'd probably restart it.
Yeah, that the guy that won beginner at the Nats that we fly at his house and stuff where Samantha flies, he got spinal meningitis.
Oh,
Oh
man.
no.
That's
That's scary.
He was doing really bad, but he came home yesterday. Finally, they got it. They said it was viral, not the bacterial.
Was it from a mosquito bite or anything? Do they know? Or you can get it from anywhere, I guess.
Yep. They have no idea. Everything they tested for different viruses, nothing known to cause it showed up.
And their tests for viruses are very inconclusive sometimes too. I'm not sure how the test for viruses works. There's something called a SID rate, and I don't know any more about it than that.
It was, he had no idea. We have no mosquitoes here yet because it's too damn cold. I mean, we're supposed to get a ½ an inch of ice. So that means I won't have power for 3 or 4 days now.
Oh, that's
man. Ice?
Every time we get a storm, we lose the power here. So,
have you got a generator?
Yeah, so I'll get up in the morning and go get some fuel, and hopefully sometimes it hits my house and not my mom's, or my mom's and not mine.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then we can go back and forth, take showers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But here a few years ago, it hit both houses for 3 days.
How many amps can you draw out of that generator?
I think it's 20 amps it'll run. So
you can't run a lot, but
no, it's like I can't run my pump. I can run if I hook it up right, I can run my furnace.
It'll cruise at 20 amps. It's probably got a higher peak rating for when turning things off, turning things on.
But usually I'll run the TV and some lights.
Yeah. I expect modern TVs draw less than an amp, don't they? Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, they don't hardly draw anything. And now, I'll plug the refrigerator in, and then I don't know. I burn about 5 gallons every 8 hours. I think I can get out of it.
And I paid $2.50 for gas today. It cost me almost $50 to fill that damn car up, or maybe it was almost 40. I don't know. It was way more than it's been lately. South Carolina's generally got about the cheapest gas around.
It's up to $3.85 a gallon.
Holy shit!
Or $2.85. $2.85 a gallon. That's what it is. Yeah, $2.85.
That's why we pay for diesel here.
Yeah, $2.55 here.
Did you say $6.85?
$2.55.
$2.55.
Yeah, it just went up to $2.55 like this past week. It was at like $2.16 like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's about what we usually stay at.
We've been
2.10,
sitting here
2.15.
with our gas monopoly in Trinidad. We've been sitting at $2.60 for months.
We're
I can't
usually
remember how much.
between 2.10, 2.15, something like that.
I think our gas is around $3.49. I think.
Yeah, when I went to California a few years ago, I found out about that. The
That's
whole
about
rest
$1
of
more.
the trip was cheaper than here until we hit California.
Yeah, California's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd come out with these natural gas deals, but you heard about it, but then it kind of faded. Maybe it'll come back again.
Yeah.
But I'd like to put a station at my house here.
Yeah.
Be able to fill up my car right at my house. And
They've been working on that back and forth for probably 30 years.
yeah, I know.
I had a friend that had a pickup that ran on CNG.
Yeah, I had a buddy that had a van that he bought that would run on. You just had to flip a switch.
Yeah.
And it would run on natural gas. Come to find out, it was owned by the gas company. And
That's convenient.
yeah, so they run all their vehicles on natural gas.
Yeah.
But it's got to be higher pressure. You need some kind of a gas compressor that, it's probably expensive, that it won't ignite the natural gas off or make it explode, but then however they fill it.
Yeah. We actually have a gas station here that has the natural gas in the back, because a lot of the Council of Governments and people with shuttle vans are running the CNG.
Oh, okay.
What does CNG stand for?
Compressed natural gas.
Oh, so it's liquid.
No, it's not a liquid. It's just compressed.
Yeah.
What's the
I'll
stuff
tell you
they
what,
pump
I
to our
drove some
houses?
CNG when I was driving for Boulder Valley Schools, a great big giant bus that they, like a almost big highway sized bus to haul school kids in on CNG. And that thing was the most underpowered thing you would ever want to deal with.
What's the stuff they pump to our meters at our houses? Is that liquid or is that gaseous?
That's gas.
That's gas.
They can liquefy natural gas, but it doesn't boil at, is it -5 or something like that?
Yeah.
But down south, I don't know why they wouldn't use it, because it don't ever get that cold.
Yeah.
That's why they use propane here. But now when they sell it to other countries, they sell it as a liquid.
Huh.
So I don't know why they couldn't do liquid, and you could fill your tank with liquid and then drive your car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I guess they don't want that much natural gas. But it ain't no different than gasoline. You have 30 gallons of gas or 30 gallons of natural gas, liquefied natural gas.
I know with that CNG bus, they are hypercritical being filled. Natural gas goes up so easily. That was another real lovely thing with that particular bus. They had that stupid tanks right where they could get crushed.
It takes something, that buddy with that van that he had. It would take something to crush that tank. It kind of looked like the old well tank. The thing, I don't know how thick it was, you know, huge, set underneath there, fit up under there. But the metal was so thick that, you know, it takes something to crush it.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds you of like a big propane tank.
Yeah. That's like that bus, but taking that risk with a big bus that holds up to 60, 70 kids
Yeah.
is not a real good plan, in my opinion.
Plus, you know, like with air conditioning, one of the best refrigerants is propane. And
Yeah, Jamie, you got the sanding block I was talking about right there. That's what I lost. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They don't
That's
sell
the
them.
hard rubber one. That's the hard rubber one. I can't.
Yeah. Harbor Freight, $2.
Yeah, I still got my Harbor Freight trip on the burner, but I hadn't made it down there yet. I got to wait till the next pay cycle now.
Yeah.
I had birthday money, but I don't anymore.
That looks good.
That's a Flight Streakish looking canopy. Yeah.
I noticed that after I put it on, after I hold it up, it's like shit. It's looking like
a little taller than a Flight Streak, but about the same.
Yeah, it seemed like
I like that.
like say like the lightning streak.
Yeah. Now, Lightning Streak is rounder than the Flight Streak canopy.
I just don't like that round twister canopy.
I don't either. That's the worst looking part of the twister.
And the
Other
rudder.
than the rudder, 'cause that rudder's god awful, but I mean, just I like that swept back.
Well, I guess it proves it don't matter whether it's ugly or pretty. It'll fly right anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. A month or so, or a couple months ago, I got on a jag of wanting to look at Greenaway designs, and he had a very unique twister in the 70s that was incredibly good flying. In fact, some of the later smaller Greenaway designs were based on that, or not, yeah, on a Banshee. I mean, not a twister, based on a Banshee.
Huh.
That's a good looking wing there, Jamie. Oh, he's fitting it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How's it fit?
Looks like a really nice fit.
Good.
It's actually not too bad compared to how usually I have a big old ginormous gap.
Yeah.
But, the only thing I got to do, I got to trim down the flap push rod, trim down a little bit, you know, because it runs right into the fuselage. But other than that, it's not terrible. I think it's going to be all right. I had to jack a flap from my other twister kit because the one with this one of them was warped. I realized that after I put it on the hinges and I was working the flap, looking at it, it's like one end would go kind of higher and the end by the wingtip was high. Like, what the hell? So I took it off and laid it down. And it was like a bow. Like,
Yeah.
and so I got a flat one in the other kit, hinged it up. Perfect.
yeah, we had the same thing with Samantha's airplane. That one flap keeps twisting, so they both getting fiberglassed with 1/2 ounce cloth. And
Yeah. I got 1.5 ounces fiberglass I'm going to cover mine with. The ones on the twister are covered with carbon veil.
oh, okay, yep.
I don't know how much strength that really gives it, though. It was my first try with carbon veil, and I kind of boogered it up while I was painting the dope on it, too. If you're too rough with that stuff, it'll tear it up.
I'm kind of in league with Sparky on that. The only way carbon works worth a hoot is sandwiched between balsa. Because it isn't going to add much strength otherwise, sandwiched in epoxy.
Yeah, it's pretty tough stuff, but
It is when it's mixed with glue.
Yeah. Or dope is basically a glue. I don't know. I haven't found anything yet you can build them out of when they hit the ground that they don't break.
Nope.
Doesn't happen.
And I've never had one fly apart in the air. So I figure whatever, the carbon fiber veil must be strong enough because pieces aren't flying off or anything like that.
I had my old RF Cardinal vomit parts in the air. That was just a mass flight. It let go of the flaps.
Oh, jeez.
You're going to run the engine blocks back further? The hardwood rails, I mean?
You mean the doublers?
No, the hardwood rails.
Oh, you mean like the engine bolts too?
Yeah.
I was just gonna go straight back all the way with them, or as far as it would go, probably what it has on the kit, or how it came. Because
I had mine to the high part of the wing.
What's that?
On my twister, mine went back to the high part of the wing.
On the top one, yeah. I don't know if it really makes a difference or not.
Yeah, I think it does.
That I have no idea because I'm using a Tower 40 on this, so I got to get the engine back as far as I can because being that it's a stock twister, not a franchise twister, it's going to be a little nose heavy.
And make sure you leave room for the tank.
And then there's that too. So
yeah, I posted in your tank thread the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what
Cardinal already have decided on the answer for that. A 6-ounce Sullivan clunk is the best way to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna put on a Cardinal. I could order one online, but I want to give my hobby shop some business. But they're like an hour away.
I like the Sullivan with the slant face that angles the plug out a little bit, so you don't have to make as sharp a turn with the tubes.
Because honestly, a slant tank, you said, huh?
Yeah, Sullivan slant, 6-ounce.
Because I have this one. I bought this whole box of brand new tanks from somebody on RC Groups for like $20 shipped. I had like 12 tanks. And it's a slant tank, but it's pilot. And it's like, oh, I think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese with the tank stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's...
Is it a slant?
That's it. Yeah.
It'll be a good one. Pilot made really good stuff.
I mean, that's all these tanks I got in here are pilot. I mean,
I like that you can see the fuel in the tank and know how much fuel's in it when you finally figure out what the engine wants for a pattern. And so all you got to do is look at it and you know when you got enough fuel in it. Yeah,
because I got a little 3-ounce semi-round. What's this one? I mean, I think they're all pilot. This is an 8-ounce. I got an 8-ounce tank, which I probably that one might be actually used on like a test bench just to run. I got another one that's this one might actually be a 6-ounce, but it's not a slant. Yeah, that one's 6 ounce.
Like a Dubro.
I got a 2-ounce. Same thing, like kind of round.
Yeah.
I got
the
4-ounce.
The 4-ounce Dubro tanks with the not slanted face fit perfectly in a nobler cavity.
This one, I don't know which one this one is. I have some other tanks. I don't know what the hell I did with them. What this paper says. This figure, fuel tank system. I don't know. Y'all recognize this kind of artwork?
Yeah.
They don't have a label on it, so it's Pilot or Sullivan or something.
Well, it's all in English, so it's probably a Dubro or Sullivan or.
And I got a 2-ounce slant. And then this very old thing that he threw in there, this just looks kind of scary.
The round ones.
I may have one of those laying around too. My dad had so much old, obsolete stuff.
Yeah, still got the clunk in it and whatnot. Like that solder joint's like, primo.
Yeah.
Some nice solder work.
But the other thing you can do too is put your tank on the other side of the airplane.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
I've never had a good run when I've done that.
I never tried it.
It doesn't work all the time as you would think it does.
I think it just depends on the plane.
But we
Yeah.
got a guy in our club. Well, he ain't flying now because he's got MS. But he did all of his profiles like that, and he's like, you'll get a better run because the fuel is being pushed the right way to the engine. It's not throwing it out to the outside, and the engine's got to suck it.
That's my plumbing. That's my plumbing method there. Whether it's a slant or a Dubro all forward tank, I don't bother with Uniflow, and they run right up to the end and shut off with it sucking every last drop. The only thing wrong with this picture is I drew the bump in the wrong place. It's actually not where those two vents go up. It's on the front of the tank, right about where my mouse arrow is circling. But that works well for me. I gave up on trying to make Uniflow out of them, but that's my method. And this up here is soldered copper wire wrapping those two, and they're chamfered so they don't suck up against the wall of the tank. And that's it.
Why do you do the fill? Why not just pull the plug off the muffler one and fill it through that?
I could. I just don't, because I don't want to unplug and replug a line that might make it looser and come off in flight. And I can also angle it out at a more convenient. I can bend it at a convenient size for me. So that way, when I have an air vent, a built-in air vent when I fill it too, through the muffler too. So it's just the way I do. I don't have a brilliant reason.
So I guess like the Cardinal, I'll run it on pressure with a tongue muffler. And this one, I don't know. Probably Uniflow for the twister. I don't know.
What I learned on here a couple of weeks ago is that the only time not to use pressure is when you have to fill your fuel tank almost all the way up, because fuel doesn't compress, but air does compress. And so if you don't have but a tiny bit of air in there when you first start, as the fuel level drops, then the engine leans out, because the pressure pushing on the fuel as the air starts to compress, relieves the feed pressure.
Oh, okay.
So always have enough overhead air if you're going to use muffler pressure or any other kind of pressure. I don't remember which one of y'all taught me that. It might have been Al.
I gotta go. I'm keep nodding off. Pardon me.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Charles.
Have a good one, Charles.
Yeah,
I think I'm getting ready to call it too.
Okay. Gonna leave nothing but the diehards. Dennis
Talk
and
to you
Steve
later.
and me.
Bye, guys.
Later.
See ya.
Pylon brand SS6.
Click over to Dennis and see if he's done anything since we last looked.
Oh, I forgot about Pylon. That's right. There is a Pylon brand.
But that's what it has on the tank. But it has pilot instructions. I wonder if it's all the same. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know. I'm going to try it. What I would like to do is convert this tiny little milk jug.
Wow, that's
A little tank, for breaking in engines or something.
yeah, that's a good idea. It's a mini gallon.
Yeah,
Microgallon.
a quart. It's a quart, whole quart. That'd be good for some dope. Be right back. I need some water or a beer.
I don't think you better put dope in there. It'd probably eat its way through.
Yeah, probably would.
Where does everybody get their carbon fiber push rods?
I buy mine at Hobbytown USA or our other local hobby shop, which is just privately owned, Lexington Hobbies.
I'll reveal an alternate source for you.
Okay.
I got them dirt cheap, like free. And we have an archery supply house here. And they go in and, you know, they got the little carbon fiber arrows.
Yeah.
And
Oh, little
them.
thin ones.
Yeah. And they go in like the feather messes up or the tip they wanted to, and they throw them out. And they're about, you know, 20 inches long.
Wow.
And they work perfect.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure we've got
I just take a 440 bolt and epoxy the 440 bolt on the inside, on both ends, and there's my push rod.
Yep. Excellent. Okay. Thanks for the tip, because I know that in a town of my size, we've got a archery. We got some big sporting good distributors, so I'll look for that. It's about time for me to restock anyway. I love the little slim ones because they're still even. They don't have to be big to be resistant to bending and bowing.
I'm trying to think. This is not even 3/16. We got about 5/32. Just enough, like I said, the inside diameter, it fits a nice 440 bolt.
Yeah, nice. I like to get one that's a little small and wrap it with tape so it doesn't split, and then tap it so I can put the JB weld on the threaded rod and screw it in. I feel like that just gives it a little more contact area. But if you're not careful, it'll split if you don't tape it down tight before you run that tap in there. Be careful with carbon dust too. That stuff is not good for your eyes, skin, nose, lungs, anything. When I was sanding, tapering the tail end of my Cardinal, you know, it's got that piece of flat bar in the tail, and I was kicking up some carbon dust. Looked down, and my cat was sitting right underneath where I was sanding. So I ran her off. I tried to, but yeah, I worried about that. I had a mask on and glasses too.
Since I'm thinking about it.
Do you put an access hatch in the tail end so you can adjust the elevator?
Yeah.
I hate having to cut that hatch, but it's necessary.
I don't know if you can see it. This whole piece right in the tail.
Yeah.
Bolted in with 2 bolts, and then it holds my tail wheel, removable tail wheel also.
Oh yeah, that's the way to do it. That's much better than cutting a piece out of the side, like I did with my Cardinal. Okay, I'll remember that if I ever build another fuel fuse ship.
Well, I guess I probably will end up chopping some of that block to make the engine go back further.
I wonder what happened to Tom tonight.
He's out of town.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Was he working?
Oh, now that I don't know.
Is he still in the automotive business? What does he do?
He works on heavy equipment or something.
He knows about a lot of different stuff.
I think he's a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's determined to learn to be the best builder around. I got to admire that. He's got some odd ways of doing things, but not to say they're the wrong way. just different.
Yeah, the way I look at it, something that works for somebody, hey, works for me.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with that.
I'm gonna try that paint, how he does it. We're gonna try that on Samantha's plane.
Yeah, he's had good success with that stuff.
You talking about with
Arts
the
and crafts, isn't that arts and crafts type paint?
Yeah, the stuff he uses is Paul Taylor uses these Tamiya model acrylics.
Uh-huh.
He used that on his Brodak Hurricane, and I think he uses that 2K rattle can clear.
Yeah.
But I've seen that that Hurricane at our event last October, and man, it was real. I mean, really, really nice. And the thing is, you thin it with alcohol. You can thin it with water even if you want, but I always used alcohol, rubbing alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I use on my plastic models with that same stuff.
Oh, that's a water base?
Yeah, water-based acrylic.
Oh, I didn't know Tamiya made that.
Oh yeah, you go to any like hobby shop that sells plastic model kits usually will carry Tamiya paint. And now, granted, a little bottle like that—that's a tiny bottle. Let's see how many ounces. This is the little one. A third of an ounce, 10 milliliters, is like $2 and something.
Yeah.
You know, it can get expensive. Now they have, to me, it does have rattle can, but I wouldn't do it. It's shitty stuff.
I'm gonna try. It's from Hobby Lobby, and it's airbrush paint. And it's the same thing. But
Oh yeah, the
they're
Creatix.
4-ounce bottles.
Yeah, that's the I think Creatix or something like that.
Yeah. They come up. They got some wild colors too.
Yeah. What I like about Tamiya, they have all the like. I mean, if you would like say if you would do a warbird, they have all the different greens and grays and blues. And like this one is a bigger bottle, 23 milliliters. And that runs about $3 or $4. So I mean, it can get expensive, but I mean, it lasts. One bottle will last a while. It depends on how much you thin it.
Yeah, I want to try and get 1.5 ounce paint job, like he does. I mean, that's just
coat.
I mean, he's got that one model came in at 32 ounces. He just got done with. That's because he saved 8 ounces on the finish work on it.
I never thought that was going to be 32 ounces.
And the other one's only 42, and that's a big
plane.
Yeah, but he's saving all the weight on that paint.
Yeah,
that's what I've always said is that I had one of them scores. It's 600 and some square inches, 690 or whatever it is, almost 700. And it had damage to the wing. And I bought the kit. I bought the thing, the ARF from a guy for $100. Figured I could fix the wing. So I thought to myself, I'm going to weigh this wing first, strip all the covering off of it, then reweigh it. All the covering on that wing weighed 1.0 something ounces. And I'm like, well, no wonder my planes are heavy. There ain't no way you could paint a wing, cover it, the covering, everything for 1 ounce. So on that whole airplane, you figure the fuselage, that's probably as big as one side of a wing. So maybe 1.25 ounces for covering on that whole airplane.
Yeah.
So
paint, especially if you use the rattle can enamels, that stuff is really a lot heavier than that.
Yeah. So
now the lacquers are not as heavy as the enamels.
I can't even get lacquers to come in under like 13, 14 ounces.
Holy shit, yeah.
By the time, you paint them and then your clear coat, and it's like, it don't matter how much you put on, it's how much you sand off, but I guess I don't sand off enough.
That's your downfall right there. You don't like the sand. Whoa, shit.
Well, don't put that much on if you need to sand that much off.
Yeah. I don't know what Paul Taylor, what his weighed. It flew great though. That's all I know. It flew spectacular, and that just like struck a bug in me whenever I found out he used Tamiya paint. Like, well, shit, that's great. So I got a Brodak 109, and I'm gonna do a Warbird scheme with that with the paint I have right there that I've been having. At least that's the plan, anyway.
How many ounces of that you think it'll take?
Oh, that I have no. I've never done it before. Never painted a plane. The only plane I ever painted was that Firecat.
What did Tom say? He paint that whole airplane less than 4 ounces or less than 2 ounces of paint. It's not very much because it covers so well.
I have no idea. That's something you would have to ask him. What I'm curious, I mean, is what is he using as a clear coat? I'm curious about the longevity of it. You know,
He's using what that DuPont, whatever that number is that people use the acrylic lacquer DuPont.
Oh, okay.
You know, but now I guess he's going to start using just regular dope. It's, you know, the same thing. So the dope doesn't affect that that water-based acrylic. It won't cut it.
Yeah, because I know Paul used that 2K rattle can stuff, and that stuff's like about $20 a can.
Yeah, that's right.
But everybody that I've seen on Stunthangar that used it had nothing but good things to say about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, apparently bulletproof to all the solvents we use, including what's in the fuel.
Yeah, I've used it twice, and it goes on like you can't believe. And after a day, you could buff it, and it will shine so good. It's just unbelievable how that shines.
Yeah, because the only painting I ever did was just with Rust-Oleum. I primed, lightly sanded, primed again, shot white, shot black, done.
Yeah.
That's it. One coat white, one coat black, and I was done.
I used Rust-Oleum for years on my half-A's, and when I first started into the bigger size planes, and now I'm stuck on that Duplicolor Perfect Match from the auto parts store acrylic lacquer.
Yeah, that's basically what that DuPont is. You know, it's the same type, just different manufacturer of acrylic lacquer. Tom's using the clear on.
Sometimes you gotta read the label hard to make sure it's lacquer and not enamel, because they put them on the same shelf.
Yeah, I heard that Duplicolor works good.
And it's also completely compatible with the butyrate dope, if you want to use that for your clear. Because the acrylic lacquer is not feel-proof in the least. The acrylic enamel is. It's like Rust-Oleum about that, because that's pretty feel-proof. You'll cover the nose of Rust-Oleum with luster coat or something like that, but that'll react with it really bad if you don't put it on extremely light and back off and let it dry, and then do it again and keep doing it until it's covered.
I mean, hell, I won this this big airbrush at our contest last year in the raffle, and I have nothing to use it on. You know, I wouldn't mind. I would like to learn how to, you know, use those straight dope.
That's on my list for my Harbor Freight trip. That and the chop saw.
I'll be right back.
Chop saw since last fall.
How good is this thing? I have no earthly idea.
It probably works fine for what we do. Light use. How much does that cost? 20 bucks?
I don't know. I won it in a raffle.
60.
I mean 60. Well, I can't even read. 20-ounce, high volume, low pressure, gravity fed spray gun.
Yeah.
6 CFM at 40 psi.
I think Sparky uses about 15 pounds when he sprays his.
Yeah. I mean, like with my airbrush, I got a little Iwata detailing brush for my plastic models. And I think about, it just depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing like fine line details, like say like panel lines or shadowing and whatnot, I'll crank it up to like 20 or whatever to get that fine line.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I'm just overall spraying, 15 easy. 15
Or is the nozzle adjustable for different size spray patterns on that?
I got different nozzles for it.
I see. You just change tips.
I could just change them. But I mean, when I say it's a little brush, it's just one of them little.
Yeah. Oh, you just put a tiny little droplet in that little Venturi looking thing?
It actually holds a good bit. You could, I don't know exactly how much right off, but it holds a fair bit. And you save a lot of paint by thinning it.
Yeah, it atomizes it, I guess. It goes a long way.
And you don't want to, you know, thin your paint too much to where it's all like super watery and super thin.
Yeah.
But you can save a lot. In other words, a regular small 1/3 ounce bottle like that, I'm almost guaranteed certain I could spray the entire wing of that twister with. If you thin it right and don't go too heavy in one spot, just you know, go to town. And like this one's adjustable right here in the back. You know, this is a dual action, so you press down then pull back on it. And if I want to spray more, I just open it up in the back and I can spray as much as I want in the back. If I want to just spray just a little bit to where, you know, I just want to like I just tighten it up, and you know, it only a little bit at a time will come out. Yeah. And that brush is like 80 or 75, 80 bucks new at Hobby Lobby, but with the app you get like 40% off. I think I got it for like 50 bucks or something. But for a detailing paintbrush, you can go on Amazon. You can buy the Masters brand with the compressor, because I got a little compressor right there. No tank on it. It's just nonstop going for like 60 or 80 bucks. And I got the brush, the compressor, several different needles for it, replacement parts. I've been having that compressor 3 years. Never had a problem. And the airbrush, you can buy the airbrush alone for like 20 bucks on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in a little kit for a little detailing brush. So like if you want to do like shadowing on a panel line or whatever, exhaust, you know, and you don't want to use a ginormous spray gun.
Can you set your compressor to turn on and off at a certain back pressure? Like if you have an adjustment on your nozzle and the line goes to the compressor, will the compressor shut off when it reaches a certain point?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I can adjust it when it does. It just depends on what I set the regulator at. So if I set it at like 25 psi or 30 psi, it'll do it more frequent than when I have it set at 15 or 10.
Yeah. But so I guess I just need to buy a nozzle and a little regulator with a water trap on it.
My brother 20 years ago bought me a Pache airbrush. Mm-hmm. And at the time it was like $100 some. 2 years ago, he bought me an airbrush from Harbor Freight that he paid like $8. It was on sale for $8 and something. The Harbor Freight airbrush paints better than the $100 one.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, like a lot of these guys are like in the plastic modeling community, they got to have them $300 Badgers and all these fancy airbrushes. I'm using a freaking $50 Iwata because, I mean, I can get the replacement parts and it's good quality. And, you know, in my opinion, it paints fine. Or I could get that $20 one off of eBay, that Masters brand, and I still use now and then. And it has a giant cup on the top. It's gravity fed and it's paints fine. It's a good brush to learn with, that's for sure.
But yeah, that one from Harbor Freight, that's a good airbrush. I couldn't believe how you could adjust that thing down so you can write your name with it. I mean, and then fan it out. I painted a whole baby Stunthangar Ringmaster, which is 15 size. I painted the whole thing with that. You can open it up to where that thing it'll throw out enough paint that you can paint a model with it. But I really like it.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to call it a night.
Okay, Dennis.
Good listening in.
Yep, take her easy. Keep us
All right.
updated on that plane. It's looking good.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll do.
All right. Thanks for visiting. We'll see you next
Okay.
time.
Bye-bye.
Been a pretty good show tonight.
Yeah, I know I'm getting real sleepy myself.
I am too. I found myself closing my eyes a few minutes ago.
I think
I got to make sure I get up around at least by 7 so I can get ready for this storm that's coming in.
Yeah, I hope y'all weather that storm okay. Oh, that reminds me, Gerald emailed me and said that they are out of power after their storm. They had a bad Arctic storm blow through the other day. In fact, he was on here when it was rolling in, and he has to go into town to be able to get an internet connection. So I don't know. I hope he's back online by next week, but that's why he's not with us tonight, most likely.
Oh, okay.
They got no phone service either, I believe.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Who knows what it's going to be like, next week.
Yep.
But at least I can, I'll heat my house with the range or my stove and stuff. So that's never so bad. But, it's just.
If you got a pretty small
I had to
house.
go like 10 miles to get gasoline.
Is your house pretty small?
It's it's almost 1,300 square feet.
Okay. Ours is 12. Yeah. So, yeah, it makes it a lot easier to keep comfortable when things like that happen.
But if you add up, it's like when I changed over I had to change my burners over from propane to natural gas. But if you look at the specs on your burners, I got more BTUs in my 4 burners on my stove than I do in my furnace. And that's at 100% going in there compared to 95. So it'll heat the house fine.
If you can set a little oscillating fan on the top of it or nearby it to, move the air around too, then that'd probably help a lot.
Yeah.
Or a Cox engine, fire it. You know what? I could have brought you that TD09 to Huntersville. Yeah, it was sitting right here. I got this box full of shit that I've been promising everybody forever now. And it's all in the box with the envelopes, mail it in.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to meet up and get that. I forgot all about it until you just said something.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Oh,
but
well.
I'll get it mailed soon. I feel like
it'll give me a reason to get down there again. Or if you see Will Davis,
I'll give it to him at Huntersville, and he can bring it.
I should see him at Brodak.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. I'll write myself a electronic note so it pops up, and I'll see Will in a couple of weeks.
What size tank you think would be recommended for the Twister with a Tower 40? And
4 ounce, probably around 4 ounce.
Yeah, at least I'd say 4.5, especially if you want to run pressure.
Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to do pressure or Uniflow. If I'm going to do Uniflow, I'm going to get I'm going to get a Brodak tank or something. But if I'm going to run pressure, I'm going to use one of these slant tanks. And man, that 6 ounce takes up a lot of space.
It does.
Because I'm going to be chopping some of this block out to make the.
They don't make a 5. I don't know why they don't make a 5 ounce.
You can get them on from Hobby King.
Yeah.
Really? A Sullivan or Dubra?
No, it's a Chinese tank, but they're decent. That's that friend of mine, Dick. That's all he uses now. He says they're like $1.25 a piece or something.
Oh, geez. Okay. Hobby King.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
but yeah, when you convert it to CCs over to ounces, and you can, whatever.
Yeah.
It's 30 CCs to an ounce, so basically.
That's not a problem.
Yeah, because I got a 40 SP. I ain't got my Tower 40 yet, and it's pretty much the exact same engine.
My 40 FP is pretty thirsty.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be using the FP, but I'm just using FP as a guide to cut out the mark for my engine holes and whatnot.
And with a 46 LA 46, you better have at least a 5-ounce tank.
Yeah.
I'd say 6, so you got a little overhead.
Yeah, because like I said, I'm going to be cutting some of this out to fit the engine because I want if I happen to put a spinner, the prop would be, you know, right there.
Right, almost
Better
touching.
be close, you know.
Yeah.
Because if I put it in a stock spot, it's sticking out almost probably 3/4 of an inch, and that's just ugly.
That's too much. Yeah.
So, I like how they give you that guide, though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the only other thing you can do is get a chicken hopper tank from Brodak.
Yeah, that'll give you a little extra.
I got it.
Tim Westcott always talks about adding 2 ounces of Coleman fuel to a gallon of Power Master or some kind of fuel like that, 1022. And he says that'll give you an extra 12 laps after the clover.
Well, you know, that guy I was telling you, put the tank on the outside. He even had one with a big one on the inside and a small one on the outside. And the small tank would feed into the bigger tank.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you only have a 2-ounce tank and a 4-ounce tank, you need 6 ounces for a 46 LA. Hey.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I don't know what size tank. If he had like a 3-ounce tank on one side and a 2-ounce on the other, I don't know how he worked it. But he always got just super good engine runs and shit like that. It was just hard to believe. And I tried stuff and then it wouldn't run. It wouldn't run right. The only thing that I got to work good was the plastic tank like that, and put a clunk in it, vent it to the top, and then on your Uniflow line, bring it straight in and right in the middle of the tank and bring it over to the side, set it right there, and then on the brass tubing, I welded like a little lever. And if you turned it up or down, it was like raising and lowering the tank. It worked slicker and crap. I've done 2 of them like that now. And that worked really well for me, for Uniflow.
Well,
I never had luck with the ones where you put the 2 of them by each other and they clunk around.
No.
yeah, I tried. I couldn't get them to work well like that. Let me click on that, James.
You can save 50 cents on glow plugs.
There you go. 1998.
Yeah, exactly.
If you'd have bought them back then and today, you'd saved a couple bucks.
Yeah. I got a Hobby Town. They have OS plugs, but they got like number 10 and some 2 other plugs that I have never even heard of. And then the other hobby shop, they got number 8 mediums. They got all kind of OS plugs. And they're like $7 a pop, I think, for theirs.
I still got OS 8s because I always say if all else fails, try an OS 8.
Yeah, they work. They're good.
Everybody says,
Sig
oh, they're a
RC.
medium plug. And I'm like, medium to what?
The SIG RC longs are good too. They're dependable.
Yeah, I got those too. In fact, I just put in an OS 8 on my 40 LA on this Mentor. Because the other plug was burnt, and that's the first. I'm like, oh, I got an OS 8. Let me go get it. Throw it in there. It fired up eventually.
Well, what I found with OS 8s is that you can run them a lot richer than other plugs. There's something about the design up inside of them where they don't flood out. And that was the big thing in RC, is that Super Tigers and shit were notorious for flaming out on landings.
Yeah, they get too wet.
And we put an OS 8 in them and it cured it. And they'd run just like anything else, but that was the only plug we could find that would run in them. And I run them in Brodaks. If you need a slower RPM or whatever, make them kind of run fat. And the things will never quit or whatever. I you know, I got 2 or 3 OS8s, but I've run the other ones too, you know. But if I always have a problem, I always go back to that. A buddy of mine was running a jet in 67 there, and he was having problems with flameouts and stuff. And we were at Brodak, and I said, let me put a plug in there and try this plug. What is it? I said, don't ask me what it is because you ain't going to like it. I said, put it in there. If it don't run any better, we'll take it out. If you like how it runs and stuff like that, then I'll tell you what it is.
It says OS8 right on the flat
I
head.
put OS8 in it, you know, and then put the cowl back on it, stuff like that. And we fired it up and he flew it and it didn't hiccup, nothing. I said, what do you think? He goes, man, did that thing run good? I need a little bit, it was a little bit fast or whatever. I said, well, set it, try it again and shit. He flew it. And then he goes, okay, what plug was it? And I said, OS8. He goes, that's too cold. I said, well, I guess that engine needed a colder plug. Sure damn ran good. And
I feel the same way about Enya 3s. They're dependable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love it. Enya 3. Yep. Oh.
It's time for bed. I'm starting to close my eyes.
Well, it's getting so windy here, and stuff was hitting the house or something up there. The dog is.
What kind of storm has got blowing in up there? Is it another nor'easter or what?
Shit, I don't know what it is, but the wind out there sounding like it's going by about 50, 60 miles an hour right now.
Stay away from the windows.
Yeah. I mean, it is howling. The dog is getting all nervous because the wind's howling like that.
We still got 6 YouTube viewers, so all you guys on YouTube, thanks a lot for coming in. We'll try to run this public as much as we can, but if you're a member of the Stunthangar Control Line forums, join it. I mean, you can go to the At the Bench thread and or section under video streaming, and it's on the main page of Stunthangar, and get the link to come in to YouTube or the video. And otherwise, we'll try to stay public unless we get the spammers come in again. Then we'll go back to unlisted. But I'd rather run public because I like it when all of y'all can come in and know, you know, you get your notifications while we're doing the show. Otherwise, I just make the notification when it goes public after we're finished. But thanks everybody for coming. And we'll be back Monday evening, same bat time, same bat channel. And that's 9:40 Eastern time, USA. And click on the super chat $ in the chat box if you'd like to give us a little bit of maintenance change for all the stuff we need to keep this going. And till Monday, fair winds, tight lines, and we'll see y'all later. Everybody, thanks. Goodbye.